April 30, 1948, and the first Land Rover presents itself to the public. The world has been waiting for this workhorse. A rugged, universally applicable vehicle that does its job all around the world thanks to all-wheel drive. Also in agriculture or on expeditions. And this is how the traditional brand from England is known. But that was back then. The new models from Land Rover place much more importance on lifestyle and luxury.
I feel more like I'm in a luxurious living room than an Antarctic station, but I'm really all right with it when I look outside at the wet, cold weather.
The Range Rover Velar. It fills the gap between the small Evoque and the larger Range Rover Sport. The fact that it should look good clearly shows how the brand has changed. And nevertheless, with all the finesse, it has to be suitable as a Range Rover also off-road. More on that later, but first of all, the Velar shows off its comfortable side.
Driving around the city with a cross-country car, it's like shopping with functional jackets. Completely underuse of the material, but the feeling is what counts, of course. You could, if you wanted.
If you want, then you can drive stylishly off-road because the optics are particularly important for the Velar. Just like developing little gimmicks that emphasize its modern style, like the completely retractable door handles. This car has nothing to do with the agricultural helpers from the 40s and 50s. The Velar is modern, looks super clean. Colored details are nice highlights. The rear is imposing, and the owners will make sure that the beautiful lights are never covered in mud. In the interior, almost all buttons were abolished. 2 touch screens allow all functions to be more or less intuitive. Those who want to do something for their environmental conscience and want to do without leather can order the Velar with a vegan interior. The fabrics are made of recycled plastic bottles, for example, and have been developed in collaboration with a leading Danish textile company.
I really like the vegan substances here in the interior a lot. I think it would be nice to see animal-free alternatives more often in the upper class.
When a big ship, then at least one with a morally perfect interior.
I think it's great that Range Rover deals with sustainability for the interior, and also the engines. The diesel all have Euro 6, but I'm a bit surprised that there are no alternative drives for the Velar. It should be the avant-garde model of the brand. The sister company Jaguar is already a step further. They have a purely electric SUV with the I-Pace.
The test car with the second highest equipment line R-Dynamics SE with a 3-liter V6 twin-turbo diesel costs at least 82,000 euros. This front says, "Please make room." The Velar definitely looks like a sporty SUV. Nevertheless, in the category driving behavior, it does not come close to the competition from Zuffenhausen. Cruising is definitely more enjoyable in the range than racing.
The 3-liter diesel engine is really great. Even if it's a little bit noisy on the outside, the 700 Newton meters of torque pull it forward, even though it weighs 2 tons. That, of course, will affect the curves, but the roll stabilization, it just can't hide it.
As modern as the Velar looks, its tradition also vouches for off-road competence. And who would have thought that the Velar does his ancestors quite an honor? Its wading depth of 650 millimeters with air suspension is already a statement. The engine, transmission and suspension systems adapt different models for gravel, mud or sand. The active rear differential lock distributes the torque of the four wheels as needed.
Where it's really one step ahead of its competitors is off-road. It really has some good systems on board. But the point is, in the urban jungle, nobody will actually use them.
Reason enough to give the Velar a run outside the city limits. But admittedly, the price is hot. The cheapest variant with a small 4-cylinder diesel only costs €56,000, and thus about as much as a base Porsche Macan. But that will rarely satisfy the buyers. With V6 supercharger and top equipment line, the price is already over €90,000 and easily surpasses the larger Range Rover Sport. And that's a lot of money for a mid-sized SUV. But those who part with so much money can then enjoy not only nature, but also a wonderfully designed car.